68 hours from hearing those magic words. We are 10,080 minutes out from hearing the WNBA is in a lockout. Yup, that's right. We are 1 week away from the WNBA releasing a statement, from the Players Association releasing a statement, letting us all know a deal hasn't been agreed upon. There has been no deal made, and there currently is a lockout. All these players rehabbing at facilities, see ya, wouldn't want to be it. Yeah, Caitlin, that includes you.
Look, some people are saying the players aren't actually negotiating. They just want everything, right? One observer even called it a holdup. This whole situation is making everyone super tense, and now we're literally days away from a potential lockout. The Players Association shot back at Adam Silver, saying the league was doing bad math and trying to undervalue their work. But Silver, he came right back with a clear response. He said their whole idea for a deal was messed up from the start, and he wasn't letting their story win. So, get ready for some major drama.
And the players' side. Thank you, Adam Silver, for stepping up and being the adult in the room. Both sides of these ladies have been acting just like kids. They've been acting like kids. You got the players demanding certain things just because they feel like Caitlin Clark has it, like personal security and all types of stuff. This has been nonsense. This has been nonsense. It looked like there's been no progression, and Adam Silver is stepping in and making sure that the CBA gets done. We are going to get into this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification. Let's rock.
So, the clock is seriously ticking. We're talking just 68 hours left until the WNBA could be staring down a lockout. And this isn't just about big names like Caitlin Clark. It affects every player, especially those without massive endorsement deals or strong financial cushions. Imagine facilities shutting down, halting crucial rehab and training for players like Sophie Cunningham or Cindy Carlson. That means a lot of athletes could lose their entire livelihood. The idea of the season just stopping casts a huge shadow over basketball right now, and honestly, everyone's on edge.
The behavior that we've seen from the Players Association is nothing shy of immature. It's nothing short of, oh, goodness gracious. I don't know how. Team Kathy over here. Team WNBA. Team WNBA owners over here. Yeah. Just give them a raise in salary. Whatever, screw the percentage. Just give them a raise in salary and call it a day. Just give them a raise in salary, give them some amenities, 50% of jersey sales, call it a day. That's not good enough. They want 50%. The term that we've heard.
Listen, the WNBA executive director, Terry Carmichael Jackson, totally went off. She accused the league of trying to just run down the clock and, get this, put lipstick on a pig when it comes to pay. She believes the whole system is designed to undervalue players, even though it's the players driving all the business growth. The Players Association also pushed back hard on the league's transparency, especially after management called part of their proposal uncapped. That comment blew everything up, making these negotiations even more intense.
He's called things out like, yeah, Kathy needs to work to have a better relationship with the players. He said that. He's also said, yeah, it seems like things are getting a little bit really personal. You know what I'm saying? It's getting real catty and personal, as things tend to get when women get to going back and forth and all of this stuff. Adam Silver stepping in and saying, hey, I'm going to make sure that there's a 2026 WNBA season. I'm going to make sure this CBA gets done, and I'm going to make sure it's fair for both parties. This whole revenue sharing thing, we're not doing that because the NBA
Now, the league wasn't quiet about this. They fired right back at the Players Association with a strongly worded letter, saying the players' claims were both incorrect and surprising. A WNBA spokesperson flat out denied that they hadn't offered an uncapped revenue-sharing model, stating, "No, our proposal actually does include a part where player pay increases directly with league revenue, with no cap on the upside." This whole back and forth just highlights how fundamentally different both sides view the financial picture, and now it's all out in the open.
You give up something, I give up something. You give up something, I give up something. The problem that we have here is that the players don't want to give up anything. They're just demanding everything. Let me say that one more time. The players don't want to give up anything, but they are demanding everything. That's not called a negotiation. That's kind of called a holdup, right? The only thing is, ain't too much to hold up. Let's get into the Players Association responding to Adam Silver. Please like the video, comment, subscribe.
And get this, league officials are super frustrated. They're saying it's not helping for the Players Association to misrepresent their proposals, while also blaming the league for delays. The league claims they've put forward big, comprehensive offers that would benefit everyone, but they argue the Players Association hasn't actually submitted any real economic counterproposals. On top of that, the league says the union keeps refusing to even discuss many of the terms they've presented. It sounds like a total stonewall, just dragging out the uncertainty for both players and fans.
Adam Silver stepping in and saying, hey, I'm going to make sure that there's a 2026 WNBA season. I'm going to make sure this CBA gets done, and I'm going to make sure it's fair for both parties. This whole revenue sharing thing, we're not doing that because the NBA makes way more money than the WNBA. But I can give you a hard number that you guys need to accept where you'll be happy with the money. All this other nonsense, trying to play in this league, that league, trying to get everything Caitlin Clark got, it ain't happening. Adam Silver stepping in, being the adult in the room.
The frustration got really personal. One commentator totally went in, calling the Players Association's negotiators spiteful and delusional individuals. Wow. That reaction came from what they saw as an our demands or nothing kind of attitude. It's like the union wouldn't even show up to the table unless all their demands were met. No compromises. So, instead of a normal back and forth, it feels more like a one-sided ultimatum, and that just pushes everyone further apart, making a solution feel even harder to reach.
They want to give up anything, but they are demanding everything. That's not called a negotiation. That's kind of called a holdup, right? The only thing is, ain't too much to hold up. Let's get into the Players Association responding to Adam Silver. Please like the video, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Let's get into this. WNBA Executive Director Terry Carmichael Jackson's statement in response to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. When the players opted out a year ago, they made it clear they wanted a salary system.
But here's the thing. Adam Silver really broke down the players' big demand for a 50% revenue share. He basically said, look, a percentage share isn't the right way to think about this. He pointed out how massive the revenue gap is between the NBA and the WNBA, explaining that comparing percentages directly is misleading. Instead, Silver argued that the focus should be on the actual dollar amounts players are earning. That direct pushback from the commissioner completely changed the conversation, forcing the Players Association to face the economic reality of their league. He set a firm line there.
The money, all this other nonsense, trying to play in this league, that league, trying to get everything Caitlin Clark got, it ain't happening. Adam Silver stepping in, being the adult in the room, and putting his foot down. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, and there's also an article with more.
Here at WNBA, as you know, they're calling for players in the WNBA are calling for more money. They 9%, I believe, accordingly. They get 9% of total revenue compared to roughly 50% of the revenue of NBA players. Should they be getting a larger share of the revenue in the WNBA?
Even though Silver shut down the revenue share idea, he did offer a big olive branch. He confidently stated that WNBA players are going to see a huge increase in this new bargaining cycle, and he added that they deserve it. This promise of significant raises, separate from the whole tricky revenue-sharing model, is meant to directly address the players' concerns about their pay. His public statement validates their efforts and shows that the league is serious about improving their financial situation. It's a glimmer of hope in these intense talks, but it definitely sounds like it's on the league's terms.
His response has been to run out the clock, put lipstick on a pig, and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. The fact that the league now wants to call any part of its proposal, quote, uncapped, is precisely why its leadership, transparency, and accountability are being challenged right now. So the league is calling you guys a bunch of pigs. Okay. What the league and teams are really trying to do is not only limit the cost of labor, but also contain it through an artificial salary system that isn't tied to the business the players are building in any real or meaningful way. You know they know it's bad when the...
Now, when you look at the current WNBA salary structure, it really shows the financial struggles players face. Standard salaries range from about $66,000 to roughly $204,000, all under a pretty modest $1.5 million team salary cap. These numbers totally fuel the players' frustration, right? You saw them wearing those "Pay Us" protest shirts at the All-Star game, a clear message that highlights how unhappy they are with their current earnings. There's a huge gap between what they contribute and what they get paid, and they're really pushing for a truly game-changing deal.
Money. They 9%, I believe, accordingly. They get 9% of total revenue compared to roughly 50% of the revenue of NBA players. Should they be getting a larger share of the revenue in the WNBA?
Yes. I mean, I think the share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. I think you should look at it in absolute numbers in terms of what they're making, and they are going to get a big increase in this cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it.
All right, you heard him. Share, the word share is not the right way to look at this because the NBA is bringing in so much more revenue than the WNBA. So he's letting it be known. Listen,
What's crazy is that players are now directly using the impact of stars like Caitlin Clark in their demands. They're pushing for things like personal security, actually citing Clark's own experiences.
The behavior that
Plus,
we've seen from the
they
Players
want broader
Association
improvements such as
shy
better
of
benefits and
immature.
softer salary caps.
It's nothing
And get
short
this,
of,
the Players Association is even pushing for historical pay adjustments for former players from as far back as the 1999 and 2002 seasons. That adds so many layers to these talks.
Just give them a raise
Some
in salary,
commentators
whatever
are calling
percent.
these extensive demands
Just
ridiculous,
give them a raise in salary
and
and
it's
call it.
definitely making an
Just give them
already
a
tough
raise in salary, give them
negotiation
some amenities,
even more
50%
complicated.
of jerseys. Heartedly believe these are spiteful, entitled, delusional individuals. We have our demands, and if you can't meet our demands, we're not coming to the table. Does that sound about right to you guys? Sounds right to me. We stand ready to continue negotiating in good faith and hope they will do the same so that we can finalize a mutually beneficial new CBA as quickly as possible. Yeah, I whatever the league says, I'm going to agree with. Anti-Players Association over here.
And now, this whole dispute has spilled into politics. We're talking more than 70 elected officials from across the U.S., including some really big names, stepping in directly. They all sent a powerful letter to both WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The letter essentially urged them to negotiate in good faith and finalize a fair CBA before the crucial October 31st deadline. This kind of external pressure from lawmakers adds yet another layer of scrutiny and urgency to these already high-stakes talks.
So much more revenue than the WNBA. So he's letting it be known. Listen, that whole revenue share thing, y'all need to knock it off. Y'all need to knock it off. Shout out to Christian S on Twitter. And shout out to Oh No He Didn't. I got that one from Oh No He Didn't on Twitter. Christian S posted this article. Adam Silver says he expects big raises for WNBA players in new CBA and that they deserve it. This is an article on Fox Sports, okay? This is on Fox. Let's take a look at this article, man. Adam Silver stepping up and being the adult in the room. Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
What's more, the Players Association has some controversial history that reveals a troubling pattern. This is the same group that once tried to get a journalist's credentials revoked, simply for doing her job. They actively attempted to take away her career, her entire livelihood. Behavior like that really makes you question their judgment and integrity, right? It makes it difficult for some people to side with them in these negotiations, especially when they're making what seem like pretty unreasonable demands.
Remember, this is a players association that tried to get a person's credentials removed for, quote, doing her job. I'm not taking that side, ever. Ever. Right? Once we have that epiphany moment, wait, these are people that made up a situation in their mind, felt so much offense to it, felt like they were a victim to a person doing their job. They went out of their way to actually get this person removed from her job and had her credentials pulled. They're literally trying to take money out of her pocket, strip her from a way she earns for her family.
And the thing is, a lot of people believe WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has become a major obstacle to getting a deal done. Critics claim there's been absolutely no progress under her leadership, and one commentator even went so far as to call for her to be fired. Reportedly, the players are flat out refusing to negotiate on key points as long as Engelbert remains in charge. This deep animosity and lack of trust between the Players Association and the commissioner make it clear there's an urgent need for a leadership change if they're ever going to move forward.
October 31st. That deadline is approaching rapidly, you guys. It's approaching very, very fast. Adam Silver made clear WNBA players will be getting big raises. Speaking on NBC's Today in advance of Tuesday night's season opening NBA doubleheader on that network, Silver responded to a question about whether WNBA players should get a larger share of that league's revenues. And his quote was, "Share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. Facts." Silver said, "I think you should look at it in absolute numbers."
Meanwhile, amidst all this escalating tension, Mark Davis, the owner of the championship Las Vegas Aces, offered a completely different perspective. He emphasized that everyone needs to stand together, rejecting the idea of two sides in this conflict. Davis urged everyone to approach the situation with a unified goal, to make the future of the league better for everyone involved. His call for solidarity and a shared vision really stands out against all the fighting and accusations dominating the negotiation table.
To, quote, bargain in good faith to reach a fair CBA in a timely manner before the October 31st deadline. The only fair deal in these players' eyes is everything they are demanding. They're not asking, they're demanding. They're not negotiating, they're demanding. They're not coming to the table because they're not getting what they demand. Remember, they're not willing to give up anything. They just want everything.
So, Adam Silver has definitely stepped in as the adult in the room here. He's taken charge of negotiations that had honestly become completely chaotic and unproductive. He even openly said that WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert needs to build a better relationship with the players, and he called out the catty and overly personal tone these discussions have taken. Silver's involvement is seen as absolutely crucial, both to ensure there's a 2026 WNBA season and to finally secure a fair collective bargaining agreement for everyone, bringing some much-needed stability to all this chaos.
In the WNBA this past season ranged from 66,000 to 249,000, with teams operating under a salary cap of $1.5 million. It says WNBA players want much more in the next CBA. Players at this season's WNBA All-Star game warmed up in shirts saying, "Pay us what you owe us," a clear message how they're unhappy with current salary levels. The Vegas Aces owner also has something to say about this. We'll get into that. It says the players exercise their right to opt out of the current CBA with hopes of getting, among other things,
Adam Silver didn't hold back either, calling out the increasingly personal and, honestly, kind of petty nature of these disputes. He acknowledged that the talks had become far more intense. Things got really emotional, drifting completely away from objective business discussions. His recognition of that personal friction validates what many of us observing the negotiations have been feeling. It also signals that he wants to steer the conversation back to a professional, productive track, focusing on logic over emotions. Now, given how complex everything is, the disagreements, the Players Association's rigid stance, a quick new deal before October 31st seems unlikely. Many believe an extension of the current CBA is more probable. Still, Silver's public promise that players will receive significant financial increases, no matter what happens immediately, offers some much-needed reassurance about the league's future. This whole high-stakes standoff, with Silver stepping in so firmly, has really exposed the raw power dynamics shaping the WNBA. From lockout threats to accusations of delusional demands, and even politicians getting involved, the future of women's professional basketball is hanging in the balance. Silver's insistence on focusing on absolute numbers rather than revenue share, along with his commitment to substantial pay raises, marks a truly pivotal moment. The outcome here isn't just about player pay, it's about redefining the league's entire identity and direction, impacting fans and athletes for generations to come.